Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
And welcome to another Topical Tuesday video where we like to start conversations with you guys, the whiskey community. Today, thanks to Dara and Bill over at The Average Drinker, we are bringing up bottles that we've bought because of FOMO. If you guys have been around here for any length of time, you know that we talk about avoiding FOMO, fighting FOMO.
Oh, I should have worn my Fight the FOMO shirt.
I know, we missed an opportunity there. We have merch shirts that say Fight the FOMO. Shameless plug right now for that, but nonetheless, I've bought a bottle or two or few because of FOMO.
Or several.
And which is why I try to fight it, because it often results in compromising my budget and begging for forgiveness after the fact.
True.
How many bottles have you bought because of FOMO?
Well, I have made you buy a couple bottles.
Yeah, that's true.
Of the same product.
That's true.
Because of FOMO. That's just one.
Right. We'll get into it. Let us know in the comments below what bottles you've bought because of FOMO. You get to a store, it's right there in front of you. You don't need to spend the money, or you're not really sure if you're going to like it or not, or you're not really quite feeling the price or whatever, but you pull the trigger anyways because you don't know if you're ever going to see it again. Or
because people say you need to get it.
Right. So let's get right into it. And we're going to kind of go in a chronological pattern with this list.
Chronological meaning the first one you bought because of FOMO?
Yep. And it's going to be George T. Stagg.
Okay.
I didn't have the budget to be buying bottles, but we lived very near a liquor store that no longer is in business where they were. They moved. They're still in business. They've just moved. But I walked over there. They had a raffle going, and I got a ticket, and I was able to buy a George T. Stagg for retail, even though I didn't have the money in the budget that month. I'd already spent it all, and I had to come home and beg for forgiveness because I was able to get a George T. Stagg for $109. And this bottle right here was kind of the genesis for the channel. So the way I figure it, it was an investment.
It was not the genesis for the channel. That's fake news.
It was one of them, though, because I was like, okay, we've got this really high-end bottle. Let's put it in some blinds. We did that. And then I was like, man, people got to see this, because you can look back on some of the archives for the George T. Stagg blinds to see how it did for us. Great bottle for sure, but, you know, it's one of those things that when you're tasting stuff totally double blind, it might not always live up to the hype. Next up, and we're just going to go ahead and keep the train rolling, and we're going to put Stagg Junior next. So this is particularly batch 17. I got fortunate enough to get batch 14 and 15 for $60 a piece. I got to a store, they had batch 17, and What was
the FOMO about this? Was because this is a highly
Well, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that part.
Okay.
I'm getting to the part.
Sorry.
I spent more than I wanted on it, but I bought it because I didn't know if I'd ever see another batch 17 again. And sure enough, I never did, but I paid $100 for this. $10 less than the George T. Stagg.
Guess what, though? I don't like that bottle.
Yeah, you don't. You don't like it at all.
At all. Like, I will never drink that.
I like it fine enough. Like, it's a good product, but it's just more than I want to spend for Stagg Junior, or at least it's at the absolute ragged limit that I want to spend for Stagg Junior. And in the moment, I went up to the cash register expecting to pay $60 like I did for 14 and 15 batches. And then they told me that it was $100 plus tax. And everything in me wanted to just tell them to take it back and that I wasn't going to buy it for $100. But at the end of the day, I just, I let it go. I let it go and I bought it, and I was right. There was some missing out.
The FOMO.
Well, there was some missing out because I never did see another one except on secondary markets for like $350 or whatever they're going for. But, it's a good bottle. We've, put a fair dent in it. Is it though? Not for her. But we've shared a lot of this. I like having some of these around, but this is not my favorite batch. But I had to pull the trigger because I didn't know if I'd ever see it again. Next bottle up, and kind of following the same suit as the Stagg Junior, is going to be Weller 12. You and I were on the way to your family's house in Central Illinois. We stopped by a little store, and they happened to have Weller 12 inside of a package deal with a couple of other products, and luckily those other products were good products. They weren't bottom shelf stuff.
Right.
But I could do the quick math, and this shook out to a $90 bottle when it's supposed to be $50.
Yeah.
And I know it's supposed to be a $50 bottle.
And the only reason you were buying that package was because the Weller was in it.
Right. I wanted the other bottles as well. It was a Starlight apple brandy finish and a Nashville Barrel Company rye 100 proof. So I wanted both of those to try, but I would not have just bought them by themselves had this not been in the package deal. I didn't feel great about paying $90 for it when I know it's supposed to be a $50 bottle. And quite frankly, again, we've put a fair dent in this. We've shared a lot of it with friends. We've given out samples of this in flights. We've put it in some head-to-heads for the channel. So the channel kind of made sense for us to get this. I was still hurting a little bit on the inside to pay $90.
But you did it.
I did it. I know that it goes for $200, $220, $250 on the secondary market, or if stores are price gouging. But that doesn't make me feel any better about paying $90 for it when I know it's a $50 bourbon.
Yeah.
And it's good. I do like this, actually. I actually liked it better than I thought I would. However, I still don't love paying $90 when something only is supposed to cost $50. There's just no way that I can get around that mentally. All right, I've had a few bottles. It's time for you to have one. Let's talk about it.
So whiskey FOMO is not something I experience on a regular basis. However, Wild Turkey Rare Breed is the whiskey that I will be sad if I ever don't have it. So
Same.
There was a time for a while there where it was kind of spotty in our market. And so Josh said he saw some. And so I did ask him to pick up several extra bottles because I didn't know if it was going to like not come back. So I did give in, and I think we have a couple, 3 bottles of these maybe.
3 times 3.
Several bottles of these just because I wanted to make sure we always had it. So that was my FOMO moment.
Yeah, apparently Wild Turkey was going through a glass shortage, as so many people were, so many bigger distilleries that pump out a lot of volume. And this was one of those products that we love so much. I wanted to continue to have it on the shelf. We didn't know how long the glass shortage was going to last. Yeah. And the spotty stock was kind of getting on our nerves. I just made it a habit to just start buying Rare Breed every time I saw it. So
at my request, I did ask him to do that.
So we've ended up with quite a few bottles of Rare Breed.
And we're good now. We don't need to buy any more for a minute.
That's debatable.
Oh,
but
okay.
Not going to slow down buying Rare Breed.
Okay.
We love this stuff too much.
We do.
But it's a really good product. We love it. And so far, luckily, other than the Stag Junior, you just absolutely not liking it. Everything we bought because of FOMO has paid off. It's been a good product.
Did I like the Weller?
You liked it fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah.
But not for $90, but it was fine.
Yeah.
This product right here is an absolute beloved pour for us. We really can't go wrong, I don't think you can go wrong with Rare Breed.
Yeah, and we
definitely can't go wrong with it.
We know we love this, so we will always make sure we have some of this if we can.
Absolutely. And when you can get it for $50 for a barrel-proof Kentucky bourbon that's so classic like that, it's a no-brainer. It's been all positive so far, or at least as positive as FOMO buying can be.
Yeah.
But now we're going to get into a little bit of a negative story.
Ooh.
So, not going to call the store out and put them on blast, but I was in Kentucky. I was going through, and these Elijah Craig single barrel picks are bottles that in our market here in Nashville, Tennessee, when they hit the stores, they just sell out almost immediately. They're really hard to get your hands on. They usually go for about $100, and I can never make the drop, so I always miss out on them. I was in Kentucky. I saw this bottle. It's a 9-year, 129.8 proof private barrel. And I thought to myself, man, I have an opportunity to buy one of these for $100. I got to jump on it. And I have tried to enjoy this bottle. It's only here, and it is so bad. It is just dry peanut shells. It tastes like the worst Knob Creek pick I've ever had.
Really?
And I could have bought 2 great Knob Creek picks for the price of this.
So you regret this one?
I regret it. I've tried blending it in things, and it just takes over the blend and turns it into a dry, dusty peanut.
Oh, wow. Have I tried this one before?
I don't even know if I've tortured you with this or not yet.
Can I try some of it?
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay, stand by. Like I said, I've had Knob Creek picks that are so much better than this. And the fact that I paid double, like a 2 times price over Knob Creek picks, I'm just bummed about it. I mean, I'm still even trying to wrap my head around it. I'm kind of getting angry just talking about it. But you know what? I got to be honest. This is single barrel roulette. I knew what I was doing going into it. The problem is that I just didn't really have the money in the budget to spend. It was a tight purchase. I was near my end for the month.
As you can tend to
As I tend to do, I went ahead and pulled the trigger, and
this is pretty drying.
Thinking that I was going to love it because I pretty much love even Elijah Craig barrel proof batches that people say they don't love. I went out on a limb and it bit me. Pretty bummed about it. Next up, let's get this train back on the tracks and talk about a good FOMO purchase.
This one got me on fire.
And will you hand me that actually?
Sure.
I want to, as much as I've not liked it, I want to get back into it a little bit. When we talk about Lucky 7 14-year proprietor, this right here is a fantastic bottle. It is an expensive bottle of whiskey though, $150, and I had to have this one shipped in.
Whoa.
So it's going to cost you a little bit more.
Was this one where you asked for forgiveness as well?
This was in the budget, but
they all run
stung.
together.
Yes.
I can never remember.
Yeah, we had to parse this list down to these bottles.
Yeah.
So this is one that we don't see a lot in our market. You really have to be paying close attention. I had to get this one from out of state, thanks to a special someone. You know who you are. But this right here, $150 is a steep price tag for me to pay for a bottle of whiskey, and it's hard for me to pull the trigger on that much. And this one right here, 14 years, barrel number 69, 128.5 proof. It's a Bourbon Street Wine and Spirits single barrel select. It's fantastic. It's fantastic whiskey. This is a special occasion pour for me. I wish I could find more of these. I'm looking in our market for when they pop up.
So what about it do you like? What about it makes it worth it to you if someone's looking at buying this?
Right. So this is, by all accounts, aged Barton 1792 distillate.
Okay.
And it's 14 years old and it's barrel strength, which to me, those are everything I like in whiskey.
Okay.
I love aged Barton.
Yeah.
I love barrel strength whiskey. And to get that kind of age statement on this, like, you can't go wrong. It's sweet, it's fruity, but it's not bright fruity. It's kind of got some dark elements
fruit
to it. Yeah, it almost has this like powdered sugary cotton candy-ish type of thing going on in some of the aged Barton. That's a little bit in here, but like, I'm just all about the darkness, the powdered sugarness.
Dark and moody.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. This is like dry and kind of flat one note. This is dynamic, sweet, really, really good. I like it. It was a FOMO purchase, so I have to be honest. I didn't know if I'd see another one, or I didn't know when I would see another one, rather, in our market, or if. And then I'm just hanging on. I'm hanging on to hope that I'm going to find another one day.
Yeah.
So really like that product. Hopefully I find more. And you can bet that if I see another one, I'm going to buy it too, because I'm fearing missing out on more bottles of that product.
I think some of it goes to if you know you like it.
Yeah. It makes it easier.
It makes it easier to give into the FOMO because you know you will be missing out. Because you know what you will be missing out on.
But here's the thing. I spent $150 on that knowing it was a single barrel and not knowing if I would like that single barrel.
That's true, on that particular one.
After I already spent $100 on this single barrel and got burned.
That seems like a not smart move.
Single barrel roulette. You got to roll with it. Last bottle up is going to be this beauty. The ADHD Whiskey blend. Shout out to Matt Porter over at ADHD Whiskey. This is his blend that he did for the World's Top Whiskey Taster for Bardstown Bourbon Company. And this was a $200 bottle of whiskey. And I just talked about how $150 is a lot of money for me to spend on whiskey. This is pushing the budget for the month for my fun money. And it doesn't leave a lot of room for me to buy other things. And I would say I like to leave room to buy other things, but it usually doesn't pan out that way. But this right here is a great blend.
Yeah, it is.
116.4 proof. It was distillery only, but I wanted to buy it. We wanted to support Matt in getting this bottle. And shout out to Bill Kavanaugh for getting this bottle for us on his way through Kentucky. But yeah, it's a fantastic bottle. Would I have bought any Bardstown blend for $200 that they do that's special? No. But I feared missing out on Matt's blend, so we had to pull the trigger on it.
He does good blends.
Yeah, and it delivers. Yeah. And the nose is incredible on this thing, and the palate brings it home. It's one of the few bottles we've ever spent that much money on, and I am so happy that we got it.
And I was actually for this purchase.
Yeah. We got to show Matt some love. If you're not showing Matt some love, we'll put a link to his. I can't imagine you follow us and you don't follow him.
Whiskey,
but if you're not, we'll put his link down in the video description below. Matter of fact, we usually talk about other stuff at the end of these videos, but we're going to make Matt's channel at ADHD Whiskey our other stuff for this week. So if by some weird chance you don't know about his channel and you know about ours, Go check it out. It's down in the video description again.
It's worth a look.
Yeah.
That's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, do the thing, subscribe, if you want. And then if you want to be notified when we have our monthly live streams, hit that bell icon to be notified every month.
Be good to each other. Until next time.
Cheers.